I should probably actually speak and give you guys a bit of an update. So, obviously with making cutting boards, I've invested in some equipment. Normally when you see me standing here, I have a woodpecker route and mill jig, big metal thing that I'm running a three blade carbide insert on, and I'll link to it below. So this is what I'm using to flatten my boards. You can do a planer sled and put it through the plane, but it's a bit of a pain in the arse and you don't get really good results. Now this board here is actually a remake, and you've seen the other board in some of the videos, and let me grab it and I'll explain a few things with it. It looks almost the same. It's almost the same size, but there's a problem with this board that I need to fix. So there's two differences between this board and this board. With the thin rip jig that I've just bought, I'm able to do much thinner rips. So I can actually do, rather than here where you have big pieces, here I've done some smaller ones, so it looks a bit nicer. It's got a bit more detail to it. The problem in my process is when this board glued up, from here all the way to here, there's a crack between the limber wood and the Pascoe. Scott, whose board this is for, said he doesn't mind some imperfections, and the other imperfections I've mainly fixed. It's not too hard, but this one is unfixable. No amount of glue that I'm going to put down that is going to fix it. So this board needs some brain surgery done to it. So what's going to happen is, not today, I'm going to sand Scott's board and try and get that finished, is this board is going to get put onto little feet, and then I'm actually going to rip it on the table saw all the way down on the line where that crack is, making this piece of Pascoe a little bit thinner. But I need to make sure it's square. I know it's square, but I need to just, because I've got glue bumps everywhere, I need to just clean it. Now, the other problem with this entire rig that we're sitting on is the table it's on, where there's a melamine, the big white melamine top, there's a melamine top underneath it. I noticed on the board underneath here yesterday, and I never filmed this because I don't mind showing my mistakes, but this was a bit of a fuck up even by my standards. This piece of 3/4 inch melamine, I milled this board yesterday. Well, I've milled it correctly yesterday. Before you see me mill this board, I've milled this board twice now. And I took it upstairs, and one side of it was fine. But you turn it up the other side, even though both sides done, there's what I call a giggle. It's got a bit of a rock to it. So I started looking, and you see me putting a long ruler across all of my boards to check for square. Well, where this table has slightly raised ends and it's nothing in the middle, this big piece of white wood wasn't being supported. So it actually had a slight curve to it. So yesterday off camera, I've shimmed all of this, and now when I mill things, they actually come out flat. So I don't have to do it a million times, and boards actually stay at the correct thickness. So let's do an update on Mr. Pascoe's board. It is milled flat, both sides. I haven't taken it upstairs yet to check on the marble countertop that is, but I now know that this piece of white wood is flat, so therefore this thing is flat, but I will double check upstairs. there was a few glue seams that I didn't like. So what I've done is, rather than actually do what I normally do, which is CA glue, I've actually run Titebond 3 into those seams. And you saw me with my little spatula thing. Put that in, which means more sanding, but as these boards get sanded to over 400 grit anyway, that's really not such a big deal. So right now this board is ready for sanding, ready for the finger grooves. Scott wants it flat both sides, no juice groove, no nothing. So the plan today is to try and get this as close to finished as humanly possible. Now, I'll explain the videos. I'm not doing workshop sounds because you've got a Mirka DEROS sander that's making a bunch of noise, which is boring for you. Table saw, dust extractor, chop saw, there's a lot of noise, so there's no point in me doing sound because I'm just going to have to mute it anyway. So I'm putting on some tunes with my headphones and getting to work, and I'm just putting music over the video. Now I'm putting chapters and I'm putting titles, so you can actually see what I'm doing, which step I'm in, whatever else. So I'm going to try and do two things today. One, get this fucking board finished for the second time. Tomorrow I'll assault the old board and get that done, which involves more milling, and I really don't feel like firing dust at myself today for hours on end, so I can't be bothered to do that. And then in the previous video you see me cut a whole bunch of other strips of different sizes. I've got another big board coming, which is going to be different, and then I've got a thinner board coming, which I'm probably going to chop up and make into an end grain board, because I haven't made an end grain board yet. The whole end goal of this is to make an end grain board, or to make end grain boards for people. So that's it. I'm going to whack some tunes on. Thank you for watching. Happy New Year. Enjoy watching an old man drink tea and sand shit. Enjoy the video. thought it was done for the night. Nope. No laser engraving, just time to oil. So here we go. So, I'll check that every 15 minutes. And I'll flip it every 15 minutes. Looking for dry spots. And then re-oil as needed. Then I'll re-wax. And then we're done. And then I can send it to South Carolina. So the light is not doing it any justice for the colour, but that board is done. And the other one that's sitting over there, I'll do brain surgery on tomorrow. But let's get this one oiled, let's get this waxed, let's get it in the post. Peace. Take care.